and there's something for each and every person, no matter what stage you are in your faith journey.
My guest today is Steve Duran. He's with Lighthouse Catholic Media, and you have downloadable. You have a website that they can go to, and so they can also do downloads if they don't want to ship or have. I mean, there's CD of the month there, which is, I mean, really, it's dollars a month. It's so inexpensive. You can get them in the back of your churches, but they can also contact your website to either find out how they can get the kiosk program in their own parish. But there's also a bunch they can choose from on your website and just instantly download the MP3. Is that right?
Yes, this is correct.
Okay, where can they go to get that, Steve?
Sure. What I would do is I would go to lighthousecatholicmedia.org, and then you can shop around there. So you can shop if there's a speaker that you really like to listen to. A lot of people like to listen to Father Robert Barron. You know, he's the one that does the Catholicism DVD set. People like to listen to him. You can search, through there. Or if you're looking, if you're at work and someone's kind of, poses that question that you kind of can't, don't have the answer for, but you know that the church teaches, but you don't know how to explain it. Well, you can shop by topic. If there's something that you'd like to, discuss apologetically, or what have you, it's all there for you. It's pretty simple. So, kind of like you mentioned, Christina, you can buy a physical CD, or you can, buy the MP3, which is something that I'm really excited for because you haven't mentioned it yet, but I wanted to before I got off this. Lighthouse has taken this new evangelization approach of, kind of re-evangelizing, I guess, Catholics who maybe don't know their faith but love the Lord dearly, but don't exactly know everything. And so we've taken that model and presenting them with speakers and whatnot to fill them, and we've taken that model and applied it to the youth and the young adult community in this country. And we've formed this new outreach of Lighthouse Catholic Media that's called Lighthouse Catholic Youth. And that's kind of my baby project, and Lighthouse went out and hired some recent Franciscan University of Steubenville graduates to kind of head this program.
Wonderful.
Which is neat because at Franciscan, there's a lot of focus there in catechetics and theology at the university, and so we've kind of taken that wealth of knowledge and those speakers. So myself, I studied under Scott Hahn when I was there. I studied under Dr. Marivalli and whatnot. People studied under Bob Rice and all these different people who are really big in the in spreading the faith, spreading the church doctrine and whatnot. And we've kind of just applied that to kind of ourselves, from people ages 25 all the way down to 16. We've taken we found speakers who are really, really dynamic, who speak at Steubenville youth conferences. Those Steubenville conferences get about 50,000 plus teens and young adults every summer. And they're in, maybe 8-9 states, across the United States.
Yes, I've heard about the Steubenville youth conferences.
So they bring in some of the best speakers, in the country to get these kids. And what we found is these kids go to these conferences and they just get that spiritual high. They get there and then, they get really filled with grace. When 2 or more are gathered in my name, I am there among them, and so they get really filled. But when they come home to those daily struggles. They come home to some of that peer pressure. They come home to maybe not a very supportive family life, and what have you. And kind of like that seed that falls on rocky ground that, that shot up real quick, that got choked as soon as it hit to the thorns. There was really no depth or substance there. So, we've partnered with Steubenville to kind of, give them some material that they can be nourished. Again, just like you talked about in the new evangelization, this applies to teenagers and college students and high school students. It applies to all of us,
Yeah, that's right.
We can provide them with things that are relevant to their life, topics that they deal with every single day.
Yeah, Mark Hart is one of your speakers I noticed on there. He's with Life Teen, and he had a really great thing on Lectio Divina. He, of course, has I think it's at M3, where he goes through the whole Bible history in quite a unique way. So he's very charismatic. I had him on my program, I think, last month or the month before, when the Holy Father's intentions were for youth ministers.
Yeah, very holy man. We've got some talks coming out from some pretty well-known speakers. I don't know if you remember Jason Everett.
Yep.
Worked with you at Catholic Answers. You know, he's
Yep.
he's committed to helping us out with a couple talks in the near future. Our most recent talk is by Curtis Martin, founder and president and CEO of Fellowship of Catholic University Students, Focus. Okay. Matt Smith and Mark Hart are putting out a talk together, Matt Smith being the vice president as well as Mark Hart, both vice presidents of Life Teen, the largest youth ministry organization, Catholic youth ministry organization in the United States. So we are just humbled and blessed by these holy men and women who want to work with us and want to reach the youth. And kind of like I said, Lighthouse Catholic Youth is, this new evangelization project of Lighthouse Catholic Media, and we're just dedicated entirely to setting the hearts of the young church on fire. That's just what we do.
Oh, that's amazing. Again, that website is lighthousecatholicmedia.org if you want to take a look at that. And how would they get to the youth and young adult website through that? Is there a link on that page?
Well, yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, Christina. We are kind of in crunch time here. The youth portion of Lighthouse Catholic Media is it hasn't officially launched. And it's supposed to officially launch on Wednesday of this week.
Oh, right.
So we're finalizing our website. It should go live probably Thursday morning.
Wonderful.
Most likely Wednesday night, but we'll see. We'll see depending on how the coding goes. But that website will be www.lighthousecatholicyouth.com.
Okay. .com.
.com. So
lighthousecatholicyouth.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it.
LighthouseCatholicYouth.com. And there will be a link on the LighthouseCatholicMedia.org website.
Okay.
That you'll be able to, switch in between, pages, if you like.
Awesome. Well, I just think it's great that you guys are really trying to tailor orientate. This really is a spiritual food. I was thinking to myself, how awesome this would be, and I've talked to Terry about this too. I said, you really should try to get this into Barnes & Noble, because there's so many great, I'm kind of I think outside the box. I'm you should have it a division of Lighthouse and have it just be called Lighthouse Media. And you should take some of these awesome talks that they would probably have at Walmart, and they would, for instance, Matthew Kelly's How to Become the Best Version of Yourself. I mean, who doesn't want to become the best version of themselves, And then he's got the 7 levels of intimacy. So it's even great for parents that are struggling with their teenagers, trying to figure out how they're going to connect, and just the way he helps to understand the depth of level of relationships. And then you've got Matt Arnold with New Age, and he talks about playing with the Ouija board and different experiences he had, and just kind of really helping people understand what's going on in the New Age movement. I mean, again, that's just, who's not interested in knowing that? And then you've got Jeff Cavins talking about pornography and the real struggle with a lot of men right now that are struggling with pornography, and it's so rampant. I mean, pornography is not pornography it was when I was growing up. Now pornography is television and commercials. So,
Sure. Our big thing, Christina, the thing that we kind of stand behind is, everyone has always told us, everyone at Lighthouse or who tells Lighthouses, you got to invest in the church, the youth of the Catholic Church. They're the church future, right?
Well, and the church present.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. They aren't the church. They aren't the church future. They are the church present. Mm-hmm. Very much so. With from the teens that we speak with every single day, they are the church militant in every single way that a 35-year-old husband and father is. They in some of those struggles, as you well know, working in the youth ministry,
they infuse hope in me. When I stand in front of these young people, folks, I'm telling you, they are so hungry. They have seen the world going to hell in the handbasket. They are the ones that have suffered through the consequences of the 60s and the 70s and, free love, which wasn't free at all. And they're the ones saying, I want something different in my life. I know that I matter. I know there's something unique and unrepeatable and special about me. Why isn't anybody telling me this? And you know what? Lighthouse Catholic Media is with these beautiful resources that are not afraid to talk about God. And you know what? They want to hear about God, don't they? They want you to talk to them about spiritual things.
Right. And I'm right with you. These men and women, are so thirsty. They are thirsting to be filled, and they'll fill it with whatever it is, whatever promise of of peace that the world will tell them, they will feel it, and and I don't blame them. When all the kids, growing up in today's culture, all of them, that's a blanket statement, but most of them, they're broken in so many different ways,
and bombarded, temptation,
and they're looking to fill those wounds with anything that they can, and my goal is I'd like to offer them an alternative, an alternative to MTV, an alternative to Glee.
Something that truly satisfies that hunger. Yeah.
Exactly. Something, if I can bring them true peace, and make them whole just a little bit more, then I've done my job at the end.